So at first, when Fox News host Shepard Smith would criticize Trump here or there or call out some obvious Trump lie, it was sort of a curiosity, and it's now happening in such a way that I'm increasingly convinced that this is actually part of a crafted strategy around Shepard Smith. I've got a clip for you here where Shep Smith straight up calls Donald Trump's Hurricane Dorian Sharpie fiasco fake news defined, and we have to really understand this for what it is. But first, let's look at the clip. Remember, this is on right-wing Fox News.
Some things in Trumplandia are inexplicable. This week's edition, the president's ongoing claim that Alabama was at risk from Hurricane Dorian. It wasn't. Maybe he got some bad info from somebody. Maybe he made a mistake. Maybe he was confused. We don't know. But he was wrong. And since, for days and days, he's been insisting with fake visual aids in hand that he was right.
And then calling it what it is, fake news defined.
Why would the president of the United States do this? He decries fake news that isn't and disseminates fake news that is. Think China pays the tariffs. The wall is going up. Historic inauguration crowds. Russia probe is a witch hunt. You need an ID to buy cereal. Noise from windmills causes cancer. It's endless. And now the Sharpie map that hurricanes Alabama. A reporter asked him about it.
That map that you showed today looked like it's almost like a Sharpie.
I don't know.
He doesn't know. But he won't let it go. Yesterday, he brought out another map and a statement that reads, "This was the originally projected path of the hurricane in its early stages. As you can see, almost all models predicted it would go through Florida and hitting Georgia and Alabama. I accept the fake news apologies." This is one where he can apologize and just move on. That map was from the day hurricane became a hurricane, 8 days ago, August the 28th. It was 4 days old. At the precise time, he said Alabama would likely be hit harder than anticipated. And by then, it was fake news defined on a very serious subject.
This is not Shep Smith stepping out of line with disdain against his bosses at Fox News. It's abundantly clear that this is happening with Fox News's executives approving, at least implicitly. And I've been telling you this for nearly 2 years at this point. I get emails from people. How is Shep getting away with this? Isn't Shep potentially going to get fired? We need to reset our analysis of how corporate media works. Fox News wants to make money above all else. They've decided to do this with right-wing editorial positions in general. They're not married to Trump, but they are right-wing. But they also benefit from having some ideological cover, especially when it seems that they may break with the Trump train. So what you need to understand is that Shep Smith provides ideological cover to Fox News with safe, calculated dissent from the everything Trump says is gospel perspective, which you see with Sean Hannity and Jeanine Pirro and Laura Ingraham and many others. Shep Smith isn't going to do anything that would really damage Fox News. Like, for example, Shep's not going to call out the lack of regulation that allows corporate media outlets to become so big and monopolistic and be so intertwined with government and internet service providers and ultimately foment narratives that don't challenge their privileged status as legacy elite corporate media. He's never going to do that. Trump will tell 1,000 lies, and every once in a while, Shep will call one or two of them out for being lies. It will get some people on the left to reconsider whether Fox News is as bad as we think it is. It'll get some discussion about what's going on Fox News. It will get some right-wingers saying homophobic things about Shepard Smith and calling for his firing, yes. But the biggest thing that this does is create some deniability for Fox News to say, look, we don't always carry water for Trump. We don't always defend everything a Republican does. So our analysis must account for the end game. In the short run at the micro level, it's good to expose some Trumpists watching Fox to a tiny dose of reality. In the big picture, Shep Smith on Fox News occasionally telling some uncontroversial truth, uncontroversial to us, that is not going to change the role that Fox News in the corporate media space plays. And that's the analysis that I've been making for a long time. To the extent that someone's echo chamber might be pierced by Shep, great. Maybe it'll bring a little small electoral advantage in 2020 if enough Trumpists have their echo chamber pierced by Shep Smith. But it does nothing to achieve the wholesale reform goals and decorporatization and depropagandization of corporate profit-driven media that we've been talking about. And it's really important merely to acknowledge what's happening with Shep for what it is and not go beyond that, because it simply doesn't make sense and it's not actually borne out by the facts.